All right. Be getting started in a minute, Tyler. Let everybody pop on. It's 2 minutes
Yeah.
till. So let everybody get notified and then we shall begin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
For
yeah,
the most, for the most part, I'll keep it on the actual PowerPoint and then just kind of watch the chat as I go. Most people should be able to see me talking in my face, right? Even though we're viewing viewing my screen.
yeah,
Okay. They'll see me in like the little box or whatever.
yep.
Okay. I want to make sure they can see me. Did I see Hunter join? I think I saw Hunter on.
I didn't see him. All right, guys.
Tailgate, we get corn.
Tyler is going to be teaching the class today. He's going to be talking about how to. Well, Tyler, I'm going to let you get into it, dude.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, everybody. Hopefully I'm sure we'll get some more folks on. I'm going to be teaching a class today that primarily is about repeat customers. Those are the best kind of customers. And so we're going to be going into that. I'm going to be doing a bit of a series, as it were, on what it's taken me a better part of, 4 years or so to kind of cultivate a lot of this. Chris has helped me build, and, this has been tested multiple times, um, and kind of this has all been squashed into 8 sort of rules that if everybody kind of digest and take action upon, you should see your business skyrocket, be it flipping electronics or whatever. I think these rules kind of transcend just electronics and kind of go into any medium you really want. If you want to learn how to keep customers and keep them coming back to you, this might be a good list for you guys to look at. So if we're good to go, Chris, I can just go ahead and start the PowerPoint, huh? I'm gonna assume that's a yes. All right, so we're gonna dive right into it. I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna go. Ready? Let's see. All righty, guys. So what I've dubbed this is the 8 rules for earning a minimum of $3,000 a month from repeat customers. I'm not talking about new leads. I'm not talking about anything else. We're talking about customers that you've bought from before, and they are now coming back to you. You're buying again and again and again. It happens. It's great. And once I go through some examples, you may think that's kind of a high price, but believe it or not, guys, that's on the lower end. You can absolutely do more. But I think $3,000 is a safe number, and so yeah. So anybody in the chat, if you guys are looking to maybe get that much in cash from repeat customers, from like a few customers that keep coming back, this is a good one to pay attention to. So let's go right on in it. So first of all, we're going to start off with a little bit of story time. We're going to talk about Missy. Now, Missy, everybody, she is my favorite customer. I love Missy. I love her. Missy, I met her. I bought some stuff from her earlier on, I think this year. And it's been like every month she's reaching back out to me, stuff from her cousins, stuff from her mom, her aunts. She did a storage and like bid on a storage and brought me some stuff. She is wonderful. And I'm going to show you guys, if you'll go with me, I'm going to show you guys the power of what a repeat customer can be. Now, this is just one. Now, if you're looking right here and you can see this, this is a snapshot on this right-hand or left-hand side here. This is a snapshot from my profit and loss sheet. If some of the guys on Rescale that I've seen on here, like Chris, you can verify this is what my profit and loss sheet looks like. Okay. Now, if you look, there's kind of a lot going on here, but if you look at this column right here where you see a bunch of this green, this is net profit. Now, if you guys don't know what net profit is, this is the profit that is left over after all expenses, after all costs, after your gas comes out, after everything, after fees, all that stuff. Okay. Now, you'll notice that something's a little bit weird around this area and around this area. You see it's blue. Well, this, everybody, is where I highlighted this. All this blue is missing. This is net profit from last month. This was the last month of 2022. This all came from one customer. This all came from Missy. This $96, $213, $141, $174, $3 $285s. This all came from one customer. Okay. Now, rounded up, this equals a whopping $1,700, $1,737. This is from one customer, not new leads, not anything else, not multiple people. I'm not cheating here. This is one customer. This is the power of repeat business, of repeat customers. Now think about it. If you had a Missy, for those of you who don't, if you had a Missy, if you had two Missies, three, you can easily see where I say a minimum of $3,000 a month, where this could easily go further. And I'm being on the low end of $3,000. So what we want to do here today, what I want to instill in your minds today, I want to retrain brains, because repeat customers, keeping a customer is where it's at. I used to think, no, I got to get more leads. I got to get more ads up. I got to get new people. New people are great. We want new customers. We want them coming in. We want constantly new, but we want to keep the ones we have. And there are ways that we can screw this up. And there are ways that we can keep them and that we can do the right thing where they're coming back to us because they only want to deal with us. And that's what these 8 rules are about. Okay. Why bother with repeat customers? Offers are easier. Now, this is not the entire case, but this is what happens a lot of times with Missy, like we just talked about before. She reaches out to me, I give her a price, and she meets up. It's that easy. There's not very much negotiation. Now, we can always do a negotiation class, okay? Because after a while of doing this business, you know, we get good in negotiation, but with repeat customers, with customers that like you, that deal with you a lot, most of the time you just kind of give them a price and they'll be like, all right, when can you meet? That's typically how it goes. Once they know you, once they like you, negotiation pretty much is on point, is easy. The only thing I would say, the only disclaimer is don't be greedy. You want to treat your customers right. You know, if it's a new, let's say 13 Pro Max, nothing wrong with it. You don't want to offer $50 for it, right? You know, because you can drive them away, but for the most part, offers are easier. You have multiple customers wrapped into one. Would you rather meet, you know, the same customer 3 times a month, or 3 new people that don't know you, that is a pain for them to meet, or one customer where you know they're going to show up, they trust you, they like you? I would rather meet one customer multiple times than, 3 different ones. I mean, I really want to meet all of them, but if I had to choose between, of course, I want to keep that relationship going and keep them going up. Guys, it's the best way to scale. It's the best way to scale. If you're only thinking about what this one deal is, I mean, you'll make money. You ain't going to get no $1,700 customers a month. Maybe you get lucky and you do. Maybe you might. I mean, that does happen sometimes, but consistently, every month, every 2 months, this is powerful stuff. Last but not least, this is one of my favorite things. It separates yourself from the competition. How many times have we walked into a phone store, electronics store, any kind of store, and they're just grumpy? They want to do this. They don't care about repeat customers. They want your money. Then out the door, they don't care. They don't care, right? How many people that you guys personally have reached out to, phone flippers, whatever kind of flipper in your area? Have you ever reached out to them and just seen like what we're dealing with, the negotiation, do they care about you? A lot of them don't. So people ask me all the time that I meet with people and they're like, do you care? What about the competition? They'll ask me about it. I don't really know. And I don't care because I'm better, because I'm going to treat my customers better than they will. Why? Because I'm beating them. So be that person who does not care about the competition, because once you follow these steps, it doesn't matter because the competition is not doing it. So when the competition is not doing it, you're the only one, you're running in the lead. You're going to win. So let's go right into it. I'm excited already. Rule number 1 is if you do not listen to any of these other rules throughout this whole series, you got to have this one. This is why it's number 1. It's most important. At least in my mind, it's the most important. Okay. You follow this rule, the other rules will pretty much fall in line. You don't follow this rule, the other 7 don't really matter. Okay. Because this is number 1. You got to care about the customer. You got to care about the customer. Okay. Rule number 1. I know it seems maybe like, okay, it's obvious. It's not always obvious. Okay. The customer experience should be at the forefront of your mind. Okay. The customer experience should be at the forefront in your mind. This means when we're negotiating, you need to be nice. You need to be professional at all times when you're dealing with them, before the meetup, during the meetup, after the meetup. They have to know they're dealing with someone serious. They have to know they're dealing with a business owner. Okay. And if they don't, if they have a bad experience, I mean, think about it. And I want you to give me a 1 in the chat for all you guys listening, if this has ever happened to you. If it hasn't, then you can give me a 2. How many times have you been into a restaurant where you walk in the door and the waiter or waitress is rude? They don't come to your table for like 20 minutes. You get a drink and then you drink it within 10 minutes and then they don't come back, right? It's empty for forever. Your food takes an hour, right? How many times have you guys had this happen? Do you go back? Maybe. Or maybe this has happened to me before. I've been into a Chili's with some friends at Chili's. Not a big fan of Chili's, but it's all right. Went in there. We waited for like 15 minutes. No one came and said anything to us. We literally walked out the door and the manager's like, no, wait. We're like, nah, we're good. We walked across the street to another restaurant. You don't keep your customers' experience in mind. If you don't want them having a good feeling of dealing with you, they will go to somebody else. Okay. This is why I talked about the competition. Okay. Customers know when you care about them. Most people are pretty good when they perceive. They have a good perception. They know when you're just getting there, the phone. They know when you just want to make a quick buck off of them, right? They know that if you get it, and let's say it's a phone, you're just checking. All right, yeah, all right. Hey, you said this thing was unlocked. This is clearly locked to T-Mobile. Yeah, that's $100 right there. So take it or leave it, right? You think they're gonna, You think they actually think that guy is going to care about them, right? No, of course not. And they can see it. A lot of, some people are not smart, but a lot of people are smart. A lot of people go by their gut. And I'm telling you, if people think you're trying to get one over on them, they will not come back. You will burn that bridge. Burn it. Why? I've done it. I've taken some people off during negotiation, during a meetup. They didn't come back. I had to eat it, right? That was money lost. That was a potential repeat customer loss. That was a potential Missy, a potential $1,700 a month customer burned. They know when you care about them, okay? They know when you don't have that experience that in mind. You want them to remember that meetup. So, and I would even say the negotiation, you would want them to remember this process so that they think of you when they or someone they know has something to sell. This is powerful. If you can get them in, if you are in their mind and they say, oh yeah, this guy buys consoles, let me call him up or her up, whoever, right? If you get them thinking about you, whenever they have something to sell, it's done. You have them. They're in your web, whatever you want to say. Okay. Now there are multiple ways to have them know, where they feel that you care about them. And that would have to be another this chat in itself of ways that really can do it. But one of the best ways, this is why I'm going to provide it, that we can do to sort of jumpstart that thing where people like immediately like you, and this goes into psychology. Ask them questions about themselves. People love talking about themselves. Okay. Why do I know this? Because think about you. You like talking about yourself. I like talking about myself. I like talking about my life. So do your customers. They want to talk about themselves. They want to talk about what's going on, right? Now, how can we do this? Most of the time, when I meet up with someone, I want them talking. Why? Because if they're talking, they're getting more comfortable. Meeting up, especially if they haven't met you before, is kind of uncomfortable. They're like, oh my goodness, I don't know if this person is going to steal from me. I don't know if this seems weird, maybe shady or something like that. I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit nervous. Like some of us, right, are nervous to meet customers. Some of the customers are nervous to meet us, right? So anything that you can do to make it easy. You don't want to be throwing a frog into boiling water, right? You want to ease it up. Not that we were going to boil anybody, but you get what I'm saying. You want them comfortable, okay? You want this to be a nice, pleasant experience for them. And one thing you can do, and also, honestly, it's the best thing anyways, because while you're checking out the phone, you can just have them ramble on. Ask them questions about themselves, okay? There's so many things you can do. And when you're asking questions, one of the things I do, I try to avoid yes or no questions. Hey, are you having a good day today? Most people will say, yeah. Some people will talk your ear off and go on, but others won't. So you may, instead of saying, are you having a good day today? You may say, what have you done today? What have, have you done anything interesting today? Something like that. You want them talking. Okay. Question ideas. Now, this is where I'm going to open it up to the chat. I want you guys to give me some examples. If I was a customer coming to meet with you guys, give me some good examples of questions that you would ask me, like while you're checking out my stuff, while you're checking out my iPad, whatever it be. Give me some good questions that you guys would ask. See if we can get some good ones. Uh-oh. Is there no good ones? Everybody awake? You upgrading to the 14? Yeah, that's not a bad one. I like that one. You upgrading to the 14. They're selling like if they're an Apple. I usually will say like, are you an Apple user? Or and then I usually go into like, you're usually team Apple or team Android, and that sometimes will get people talking. That's a good question. Do you have any fun plans for today? That's a good one. Good one, Steven. That's a good one. I do that one. Do you have any plans for the weekend, for today? Yeah, especially something interesting that they can do. So we'll go into some ideas. If you guys want to keep submitting, I'll kind of keep an eye on them. So here's some ideas for you guys. Ask them about their work and things about their life. The work question is almost a standard of mine. I typically will ask them. And most of the time, I'm typically very interested in what people do. And so, like, if I get an interesting job, like, like I've gotten a private eye type of thing, people have been private eyes or something there. Or like I've had someone who's an underwater welder I just met this week. Stuff like that is really, really interesting. And you can just ask them questions, keep them talking, keep them engaged. This is the way they're going to remember you. Of course, yeah, ask them questions that's going to engage their interest. If you happen to see a cool t-shirt that they have on, ask them about it. If you're a gamer and they have a gaming t-shirt, ask them about it. What are you playing? Get them talking. Okay. You can always talk about local events or things that are going on in this. If they're in the same city, that there's some kind of cool like carnival or fair or something going on. Ask them if they're going. Okay. Of course, ask them about their weekend. It doesn't matter as long as they are comfortable, right? And this is, again, not only are they going to enjoy talking about themselves, but it's going to show them that you really, number one, that you care about them, and that it makes them feel good, right? Makes them feel good to talk about themselves, and they're going to have a pleasant experience. And again, this is all going about caring about them before and after the meetup, during the meetup, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Why do we do this? Okay. Customers love coming back to businesses that treat them well. Okay. Think about Disney. Disney's famous for its, the way it treats some of its customers. Not all the time, right? Everybody, it's not 100% perfect, but that's, typically people, if they have that good experience, they're going to come back to you. Okay. They're going to want to come back to you. And honestly, this one's kind of a me thing. I like this one. I think you guys would too. You'll have a better meeting experience. The experience of that meeting will go better for you. You'll have more fun. I love talking to people about their jobs if they have something interesting. Stephen asks, is that because work has some emotion or investment to it? Yeah. Think about it. If you work a 40-hour week, that's 40 hours of your life that's spent on a certain job. And a lot of people who love their job, if they particularly do, even if they don't, they'll still like talking about it. Try it on your meetup. I start asking, I'd say as a challenge for yourself, every customer that you meet from here on out for like a week, ask them about their work. Just say, so what do you do for a living? Take a seat. Hi, Billy Bob, take a seat. You mind if I check out your phone? That's another thing. Always ask if you can. Don't just take the device, ask for it. It's, again, showing that you care, showing that you're a professional. But yeah, people typically, now some people don't want to talk about their job. And then that's where, have a few questions in your mind, hey, are you doing it? Okay. You're an accountant at this boring firm or something that you don't like, right? Okay, well, are you doing anything fun? Do you have any interesting hobbies? There's all kinds of questions you can ask. And again, offers are easier. Offers are easier when people think that you care about them, because you become human in the customer's eyes and not someone who wants to take advantage of them. This is a good one. If they see you as someone that is genuinely trying to be on their side and give them the best deal possible, if they get the feeling that you are not a win-lose in their, and against them, but win-win, that you win and they win. That's what you want. This is how we build a customer base that is solid. Okay. They need to make sure that you're not wanting to take advantage of them. Okay. That's very critical. Okay. And again, why? It separates yourself from the competition. There's got to be a mantra. I want you guys to think about what the competition is and how you separate yourself from it. This is what you offer that nobody else can find. You need to make sure that that's how it is for yourself and your business. You want to be that person that nobody else can get. Nobody else gets treated the way that I get treated unless I go to this person, to my business, to whoever, whatever your business name is. Okay. They need to know that. Okay. Why? You just show it to them. You don't even have to badmouth the competition. Just be better than the competition and they will flock to you. Okay. So care about that customer, care about them. Okay. Even if you don't, try and fake it. I'd say just try and care, but fake it till you make it, right? All right. Rule number 2. All right. We still alive? All right. I got to hurry up. Follow up. Number 2 is follow up. Guys, follow up with your customers. Okay. You meet them, you buy from them, then a month goes by, you haven't heard from them, 2 months goes by, can you follow up? People are busy, right? All right, question. All right, I want everybody to answer this question. There's a multiple choice. Which repeat customers should you follow up with? But I actually did a disservice here. I should have put which customers should you follow back up with? Because really, you should follow up. All right. Is it A, you only follow up with the customers you had a good experience with? Okay, that's a good one. Is it B, the customers who said that they had something else to sell? Okay, sometimes we meet up with customers. Oh yeah, I got an Xbox I need to get rid of. Oh, okay, well maybe we can meet next time. Do we follow up with just them? Is it C, only the customers who left, that's supposed to be left, not let, who left you positive reviews? Okay, that'd be a good one to follow up with. Is it D, do we follow up with every customer? Or is it E, seriously, every customer? So everybody, I want you to give your answer, what you think it is. Question, there are 2 answers that I will accept that are right. Hint, hint. Everyone, E. If you said D or E, yes, you're right. You need to follow up with everyone. Everyone. Okay. Now, there are systems in place to help you do that. Okay. And I'm sure we can talk about that here in a bit. But yes, we need to be following up with everybody because people forget, right? Follow up is the key with is key with every lead and especially repeat customers. Okay. People get busy, life takes over. We want them to think about us whenever something happens, but sometimes they don't, right? Follow up with them. Okay. You need to follow up with repeat customers at least once a month. Can you follow up with them more than once a month? Yes, you can. I would be careful. Don't come across as needy every day. Hey, what do you got? What do you got? You got anything? Got it? Okay. You want to be professional, right? But I'd say at least once a month. This picture shows you my follow-up sequence where you see this 11th month, 12 month, you'll see it all the way. That's when this is my bill of sale workflow. Whenever I get a contact info, whenever I'm buying some devices, I'm putting them in a workflow. And guess what? They're in a 12-month workflow. That means once a month, every month, minimum, they getting hit up. What else you got, man? I'd love to buy from you again. Hey, I'm running this cool discount. I'm paying 10% more or something, I'm hitting them up every month. Every month. Why? Because I want my repeat customers. I want them coming back to me. I'll buy from them once. I'd like to make money on them again and again, right? You need to have a system in place, right? You need to be following up with these guys, with these people at least once a month. I will, like with Missy. I bought from her yesterday, and I follow up with her multiple times a month, but that just because we have a good relationship going, right? But at least once a month with every customer. Okay. Ask about their life. This goes back to rule number 1. Ask about their life or anything previously spoken about. You know, that's a good segue. And I'm going to show you an example right here. This is Missy. You see in the top, the blue, this is my actual text, and you can see it's from last month. Hey, Missy, haven't talked to you in a bit. Just checking to see if you had anything for sale. It's easy as that. That's a follow-up. Okay. She didn't respond. Okay. For a while. So I want you to see I want you guys to see the psychology and the trickery behind here. So I went last week I went on vacation. I went to Tennessee, and we did a road trip there. And she had mentioned, I had told her about it when we were meeting up, and she had mentioned a seafood place. And I remember I was going to be stopping in New Orleans to go to the seafood place. And so I messaged her about it. I said, hey, Missy, what was that restaurant in New Orleans called? And then she sent me it, and I just kind of chatted with her a bit. This is what I found, not sure if that's the one. She's like, yeah, top 2 are good, right? I said, okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll let you know if we make it there to those restaurants. I leave on Saturday, and I won't be back until next Saturday. Did you have anything you wanted to sell before or after then? Now she's always doing caps, so I don't know why. She's always yelling at me. But she says, I'll update you tomorrow on what I have. Okay, great. Yeah, feel free to let me know. Guess what? I bought from her before I went on that trip. Okay. This is the power of follow-up. You don't always have to ask them, hey, what else you got to sell? You can also say, hey, that concert you went to, how was it? Was it any good? Hey, that new restaurant we were talking about, was it any good? Okay, cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And by the way, if you have anything, let me know. Feel free to let me know anytime. This also shows, guys, that it goes back to that role where they feel like you're not trying to make a buck off of them always, right? I was legitimately asking her for advice because I wanted to go to this place, right? Of course I did follow up, and yes, in the back of my mind, I always wanted to get her to come back to me. I wanted to get another deal from her, but it was more than just that, right? And she felt that. That's why she responded, and she could see that I valued her opinion. Okay, cool, thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Customers like to know that they're appreciated, right? This goes back into rule number 1, care about the customer. Whenever you buy something, you need to tell them thank you. You need to say, I very much appreciate your business. It really helps me out. Thank you so much. If you like supporting small business like myself, please give me a review. I would very much appreciate it. It helps me out. That stuff comes off as authentic. And there's so much inauthenticity in the marketplace that when you are that one fish that is swimming against the current, it's noticeable and palpable, and people will latch onto it. Not everybody, but a lot will. And you can see that here. So this is a good example of the concept that I'm kind of talking about here. Upsell, upsell, upsell. I mean, just because they don't have a phone for sale, they may have a console, right? They may have something else for sale. They may have, I don't know, something weird, interesting. I mean, I've bought some weird stuff before, right? I've bought like hunting gear and stuff that I've made a good profit on. Okay. Now, number 1, we all need to be upselling to begin with. If you're negotiating with someone on, let's say, a phone, if you're not asking them what else they have before the meetup, you're losing money. Plain and simple, you're losing money. Okay. You need to be asking them whenever you close the deal. Okay, we're going to meet here at this time. Thank you. I also buy such and such and such and such. Okay. And if you guys want, I will copy and paste after this is done. Just remind me, I will copy and paste in the chat my own personal script that I copy and paste every single time, because I don't want to buy just one thing. I want to buy 4 or 5 things or more or 10 or 20. I don't care. I want to buy it all. Okay. This is about retraining our brain. Okay. Okay, cool. They don't have any phones for sale. Got anything else? You know, I buy consoles, right? I remember you were mentioning you liked playing games. I buy like PS4s, Switches, PS5s, you know. I buy it all. You know, how can I help you? How can I get cash in your pocket? Let me help you, right? This is next level stuff, everybody. This is where we need to be. Because if you want to scale your business, this is where we're going, right? Okay, we're going up. Why? Why do we follow up? Okay. It shows a different level of professionalism. All major companies do this. How many Amazon emails you get? How many Walmart emails you get? Hey, we're running this promotion. Hey, this, that, or the other. Hey, this thing that you looked at is now, 5% off. They all do it. Why? Because it works. Because it works. People forget. We live in such fast times. Everybody's attention is going here, there, everywhere. It works. You want to maintain that level of professionalism? You follow up. You follow up. It also reminds them about you and that. Oh, okay. It reminds them about you and like what you do, but also that they always have cash waiting for them. They have cash if they want it waiting for them. And if you can word it in a way that's like that, there's all the time where I'll say, yeah, just let me know. I'm ready to meet up. I got your cash waiting for you. That's a powerful statement. And then, of course, I'll follow up by showing them a picture of the cash. That's a great negotiation tip. If we do a negotiation one, that's definitely going to be in there. I used to think that's crass and like maybe a little tacky or something. I do it all the time now because it works. It works. And by the way, here's another tip. You get somebody bringing some extra stuff to the meetup and you're negotiating with them and they're kind of a little bit shaky. Start counting that cash in front of them. Start counting it. They'll sell to you for sure. It's the eyes. It's with something. It does something. They see that cash. They want it. They don't want cash when they see it, right? So it reminds them that they always have cash, an option for cash waiting for them. Friends or family members might have something too, which gains a new customer and makes an existing customer happy. How many times have you guys suggested a restaurant or a business or something to somebody and they've gone there and had a great experience and you kind of look like it's almost like you are a part of the business, like you made that happen. And so you're kind of like a hero in a way. I say a hero very loosely, but you kind of feel good about that, right? This happens to them. So if they can turn their friends or family members on to this service that is really good, that they're going to be happy with, they're going to thank them, make them look good, make you look good. It's just win, 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 win. Just wins everywhere, right? It's like Oprah, you get a win, right? Okay. And also, people, like I said, they forget. So they may have just heard their family member say, yeah, I'm going to buy the PS5. I don't need the PS4 anymore. Yeah, I'll probably just take it to a pawn shop. And then when you message them like, I don't have anything, but my cousin Larry, he's got something, right? Now, lastly, what do we think my last why reason it is? If we followed all these rules, I want to see if anybody knows what the last why is. There's one more. Boom. Yes, Stephen. It sets us apart. It separates yourself from the competition. Do you sense a theme here? The competition is not doing this stuff, guys. They're not. And if they are, they don't care about the customer, right? Come on. Follow up. Follow up. follow up, follow up. I can't say it enough. Okay. That's it. That's it for these rules. There's of course 6 more. We got rule 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go ahead and stop the share. That's a lot that we covered. Let's see if I can remember how to pause share, right? Pause share. Somebody in the chat help me. I forget. Not in meeting. Oops. Well, isn't this just a pickle? Give me just a second. Will be new share. Hold on. Let me end show. Give me just. I'm sorry. I'm having technical difficulties for no. Did we stop share? Are we good? Can everybody? Let's see. Hopefully everybody can see, it's now on our see me still. But yeah, that's the first 2 rules. At this point, I think we got about 20-ish minutes left. I don't know if anybody's got any questions. I'm ready to answer some questions. If you guys want me to go over a little bit what we've already talked about, or you have any other concerns or anything that I can help with, you have me for 20 minutes. So you can either ask it in the chat or unmute yourself. Any questions? If no questions, did you guys at least like what I had to say? Steven's still digesting. I know it's a lot. It's a lot. It is a lot. And we're gonna be, it's one of those things that it's not done in a day. It's gonna take some time. And once we go through all the rules, throughout the coming weeks or something, I'll have everything. I'm also going to be giving you guys a secret to the success that I think inspired most of this list, or at least half of it. I'll be giving that to you guys to where it's, that's even more value. Terrell asked, how many repeat customers do I currently have? That's a good question, my friend. Let us count. Give me just a second. I'm going to have to log into my Go High Level, aka my Resell Deck account, and I can count for you. Let's see how many contacts I have. I have probably more than this. I have at least. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Just a second. I have at least 200-ish repeat customers, or 200. Let's say 200 that I've sold to. So at this point, currently, most of my business, about 70% of my business that I do a month, is from repeat customers. I've gotten it to that point. I've met up with a bunch of repeat customers today, and I haven't even reached out to new customers. I've just been busy. So yeah. So I would say most of my stuff and most of my customers at this point are repeat customers that I deal with, Terrell. And when you get to the point where most of your money that you make, or most of your profit you make a month is repeat customers, the business gets a lot easier. Okay. You don't have to scrounge around, and you don't have to be hustling constantly. You still need to hustle, but you don't need to hustle like, you can take some time off, because those customers, your phone's getting hit up. hit up. Hey, I got this to sell. I got an XR to sell. Okay. So I had a guy yesterday, repeat customer, his name's Colin. Sell me like 4 phones. Just, met me at a restaurant. I was having dinner with some friends. And so, yeah. And if you guys want to unmute yourself, I don't know if I can allow that. It's been a while since had a control of this, so you must forgive me. Any more questions on like what we've talked about? The first 2 rules are kind of basic. We're going to get in as the coming rules. This is kind of what I wanted to give like an appetizer. The coming rules are going to be ones that you don't normally think about. I would even say that a lot of the other rules are stuff that a lot of folks, even high level folks, pass up on. But if you can get them and harness your own mind, that's a hard pill to swallow a lot of times, is harnessing your own mind, harnessing what getting your own brain to be retrained into thinking. Because that's what we're ultimately doing here. I really do not want you guys thinking when you go to a meetup and you meet up with, let's say, a Missy. I don't want you thinking of Missy as, let's say it's a one phone that you're going to make $100 on. I don't want you thinking about that 100. I want you to think about the 1,000 that's going to come when she meets you again over the series of the coming months. I don't want you thinking of, if you meet someone in January of this year, of like say next year coming up, I don't want you thinking of this really big deal that I've closed. I want you to think of what other deals, even if they're smaller deals over the course of the year, that's this one customer is worth thousands. And when you train your brain to really think about that, your repeat customers become much more important and easier to deal with. And you'll find that you're having a much easier time in general in your business. You're not constantly going through 30 leads a day. That's how I used to be. You're like going through 30 leads a day. You don't believe me? I'll show you. Let me share my screen again. You don't believe me? See, can we see my screen? Look at this. This is all stuff. This is all leads. This is all leads, baby boy. I have not got to any of them. Not got to a single one. I've just been meeting repeats today. Candace, that's a repeat. I've just been messing with them because I mean, there's good deals here. I mean, an S20, S21, 11 Pro, there's some good deals here, but I don't feel like I'm scrounging, having to go through all this just to kind of make ends meet. I can kind of let my business kind of run, and it's a machine at this point. And I'm just kind of steering it, right? Because, they're mostly coming to me and I'm getting my phone blown up all day. Let's see. I'm just kind of talking here. So if you guys want me to shut up, let's see. I was thinking as every customer as, yeah, Steven. Yeah. You need to retrain your brain, man. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. Right. But when you meet that customer, and if you guys want, at some point, we can do like a mock like meetup and I can show you exactly how I treat someone, Now I do have a little bit of an unfair advantage because I'm a very personable person. So I do realize that, but that doesn't really matter as long as the person is, they know they're being taken care of and they're not being taken advantage of, right? Like I was saying before, you're good. But yeah, because people, I mean, if you think about all the devices that are out there, not just devices, just anything, they have, people come in contact with constantly new stuff, right? Everybody's buying, right? Look at Amazon, right? Everybody's buying stuff, right? And everybody's getting new stuff and getting rid of old stuff. And so, when you meet that person, you need to make sure, and the coming rules, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but we're going to be going through and diving into each and every one of these that are critical, I think, for maintaining those people. But like I said, rule number one, just simply caring about them and letting them see that you are going to care about them and are different. That's a win. How did I change my mindset in the beginning? Was it thinking of how you would want to be treated? That's a good one. In the beginning of phone flipping, I was just like anybody else. I thought about the deal then and there. If you guys want to know who changed my mind, who was instrumental in changing my mind, you bought a course from him. His name is Chris Schroeder. Chris Schroeder, back in, I want to say maybe about a year ago, man, honestly, now that I think about it, Chris really changed my mind. And thinking of customers as a stream versus a bottle of water, right? That's a good one. If you think of them as a stream, as someone who's can constantly, continually come to you instead of just one sip of water, right? That, me changing my mind and thinking about that was key to scale, right? To me scaling up. That was, and of course, yeah, I've been, and again, yes, to answer your question, yes, I was thinking about how people treated me, like when I go into businesses that treated me right and well, and that I felt good, I came back to them, right? So yeah, people in businesses that treat you well, you come back to them, because there's enough businesses and people out there that don't treat customers right. And so when you do, yeah, of course.
Hey, appreciate the shout out, Tyler.
Oh yeah, of course, man. Well, it's true. I'm not telling lies here.
I mean, hey, I figured it'd be better coming from you rather than me trying to, harp on it every week, because all of you on the chat know that I say this stuff every week.
Yeah. It sometimes maybe can get lost in the shuffle sometimes, but I'm telling you this right now. I think it was Terrell who asked me. I'm in the process of building out a new profit and loss sheet where I'm actually tracking my repeat customers. I would surmise that 60 to 70% of my business is from people I've already bought from before. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do well, you want repeat customers. I guess that's the best endorsement I can. If you want, like I said, I'm not joking. That was my profit and loss sheet. That's 1737. And that was last month when I took a vacation. That was well over a week. So I did like about 1,300 in profit last week. 13. I did about 3,500 in profit last month, and I took half of the month off, honestly, and most of that came from repeat customers. I didn't really want to mess with new customers, so. But yeah, so any more questions? We got, I think, a couple more minutes, I believe, Chris. It's usually like an hour, I think, right? Something like that. I'm showing we got about 5 more minutes. Any more questions? And by the way, I should ask, I don't know everything. I'm always learning. I'm always improving. If you ever get to the point where you think you know everything, you're losing, because I guarantee you don't. you're always needing to up your game and improve. I made a mistake the other day where I got angry. I got a little bit frustrated with a repeat customer. This is actually in my PowerPoint later on. And I show you. And I ended up, sort of posting it to the rescale group I'm in and saying, hey guys, just don't do this. Don't be like me. Don't get frustrated. I had to call the customer because I was going to lose them because I could feel that they got mad. And this is where it kind of goes into negotiation. That's something, maybe can do later on, a deep negotiation and like feeling, if you can get your brain inside of what the customer is feeling when they're messaging a certain message or when you're on the phone with them, if you can get their mental pathways and then re-navigate them, right? I mean, you're good. You're solid at that point, so that's easier said than done. So, but yeah, we got about 5 more minutes. Any more questions, concerns? I wanted to keep it kind of short. Maybe I could have gone a little bit more time. I figured we have a lot more questions. We'll probably have more. Yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How long ago did you actually start implementing this process of, following up and really focusing on repeats? I know it wasn't that long ago, so I just kind of wanted to,
No, it was
kind of
about
highlight that.
Yeah, it was about a year ago when I really like changed my outlook where my strategy was repeats. My strategy was before like getting more leads, more like that was my mindset. About a year ago is when I changed it to focusing on keeping existing customers and following back up, and the customers I had already had, keeping them in a net. And we'll go over that with the later ones of how to keep them, right? And the strategies that we implement to, make them, where they're never too far from arm's reach, right? But yeah, I'd say about a year or so. So I wish I would have been doing it in the beginning, because instead of having, about a year of focusing on repeats, I would have 4 years, which would probably mean, given the trajectory that I'm already at, it'd probably mean that I wouldn't have to do ads anymore. I mean, I still would, because I never can have enough customers, but yeah. So I wish I would have been doing it. I wish I would have listened, but I did it. That's why I'm trying to help you guys avoid the pitfall. Listen. Repeats are where it's at. I'm telling you.
Well, cool, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay.
And thanks for coming on, Tyler. We'll have you on next Thursday too. And did you guys enjoy this? Let me know. Let us know. Unmute. Feel free to throw it in the chat. Let us know in the group chat. Because we want to know if it was good or if it wasn't. If you learned anything, share what you learned in the group so Tyler knows what you learned. And yeah. So anyway, Tyler, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for providing a ton of value.
Yeah. Hopefully you guys take it and run with it, please.
Sweet. Awesome. All right, Tyler, you can go ahead and end the call, bro. And see you guys later.
All righty. See you guys later.